Hey, how y'all doing out there? Back at you again with another video. Today I'd like to do my review for the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. This particular device came out 2018, and so it's been around for a couple of years, and I wanted to check it out. And when I was looking for tablets and I was checking out the Samsung tablets, because I like them, I was so surprised and happy when I found one with not only a headphone jack but with an IR blaster. I think that's really cool, even though I wish it still had a fingerprint sensor too, but still I like the fact that this model has the headphone jack. Now with the Tab S6, no headphone jack, no IR blaster, which is unfortunate, but it does have a fingerprint sensor. But we're not here to talk about the Tab S6, we're here to talk about the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. So let me get into all the things that I do like, and then I'll get into all the things that I don't like. And I already did, unboxing and gave you all the specs. So try to make this video as quickly as possible. First thing I like is the build quality. The build quality on this device is excellent. Now I don't know exactly what the materials are, but I do know it has an aluminum frame and it has glass on the front. It's built very, very well. It feels very premium, made with really quality materials. Now, I prefer to use it with a case, because without a case, it's kind of slippery and I don't want to drop it and damage it. But for those that don't really like cases, they just like to use their tabs, without a case, then you're going to love the build quality. You're going to love the way this tablet feels. So I really like the build quality. The next thing that I like about this device is the display. Now this has a Super AMOLED display, not Quad HD, but I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed with this display. This display is absolutely gorgeous. And this tablet gets very, very bright. I mean, so bright to the point where I can't even use it on full blast like I normally do all my phones. Everything's 100%. Can't do that on this device because I tried it and it hurt my eyes. So that's when I like. I like something that's so bright till literally I can't use it on peak brightness. So this display not only gets super bright, but the Super AMOLED display is absolutely beautiful. I mean, beautiful. Okay, it's a 1600 by 2560, only 287 pixels per square inch, but you really can't tell, honestly. I mean, it's really gorgeous. All right, next thing, the battery life. Now, the battery life on this thing, I'm just trying to tell y'all, it's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just before I plugged it up, before I decided to do this review, this device has been on for 9 consecutive days, getting, notifications constantly. 9 days, and it only came down to 17%. Now, I kind of used it off and on for the last 9 days, but still, I mean, that's incredible battery life. 9 days, and when I used the device super, super hard, I couldn't kill it in a day. I just couldn't. So, if you're trying to use it super, super heavy, you could probably kill it in like a day and a half, 2 days. But if you just use it like moderately, you easily could get anywhere between 3 to 5 days. So battery life is not an issue. It has a big giant 7,300 milliamp battery. So you're going to love the battery life on this device. Next thing, expandable memory. Now everybody that really knows me and that's been a subscriber to this channel, y'all already know I always want a device that has expandable memory, especially my phones. I need that because I download and I put a lot of videos, movies, and music and photos on my devices, and I need expandable memory. So I love the fact that this device can expand the memory up to 400 gigs. And I do have a 400 gig micro SD card in there already, and it's maxed out. But it comes with 64 gigs already on it, even though I wish it came with 128. But, this particular model came with only 64. Now, they do have 128 gig variant, but I wish it had started at 128 and went up to 256. Now I know y'all probably saying, well, man, I don't understand why you need a... Listen, I just told you why. Now, if you don't need that much storage, good for you. We're all different. You know, what I need, you don't need. What you need, I don't need. So I don't know why people get emotional or have to come at me in the comments, you know, not particularly here, but other places where I say I need expandable memory. Oh, it's 128. How many? Or say if I'm talking about a device that has 256 and I'm still saying it's not enough. Man, what do you? I don't know why you need all that memory for. What are you watching porn? Which I thought was a pretty ignorant comment. Like, just because somebody needs a bunch of storage don't mean they have to be watching porn, which I do not watch porn. I'm a child of God. Okay? All right. So, anyway, 400 gigs of expandable memory. I love that. So, that's one of the other things that I like about this device. Next thing, the iris sensor. Now, this is something I'm really missing on my Note 10 Plus. I hate the fact that Samsung removed the iris sensor because it gave you an extra layer of security because you open the device with your eyes. Okay, that's really hard. Can't nobody fool your device trying to open it up with their eyes. It's not gonna happen. Okay, you may be to fool it with a face unlock, but you ain't fooling it with no iris sensor. So it gives you an extra layer of security, and I love that this device has it. I just wish Samsung would bring it back on their other devices, but I understand because everybody's going bezel-less and they only want to they try to put everything underneath the display. And you know, maybe when Samsung's able to get the front facing camera underneath the display, they can bring back the iris sensor then. That would be really nice. So I love the iris sensor. Excuse me. Next thing, the speakers. The speakers on this device are amazing. 4 speakers. And I'm telling you, when I'm watching a movie or listening to music, super loud, and the sound quality is excellent. Now, I must say this really, really quick. The Galaxy Fold actually has better speakers and louder speakers on that device than this device. I'm serious. They're even louder, better stereo sound, better quality. But these speakers are really, really nice compared to a 10.5 Galaxy Tab I had maybe 4 or 5 years ago, which the speakers were really, really weak. I mean, they were terrible. Like, I really didn't enjoy watching movies on it that often. And most of the time I use headphones because the speakers were that weak. But the speakers on here are tuned by AKG and they sound great. They really do. Next thing, the headphone jack. Now, y'all already know how I feel about a headphone jack. I love the fact that this device has a headphone jack. You get better quality sound with a wired connection, point blank. So I love the fact that this has a headphone jack. I absolutely love that, even though the ones after this don't, but this one does, so I love that. Next thing, One UI. Now, I really love One UI. Now, I've been with Samsung since all the way back to the days of TouchWiz, up until the Samsung Experience, and now the One UI, and I really love One UI. You know, I just love the way it is, the setup, all the features. I love that. Now, everybody don't like a device with a bunch of features. I just happen to be one of the people that do. Because if I'm going to spend a whole bunch of money, I want to get as much out of my device as possible. You know, I'm the kind of person that likes to have fun. I like to tweak this, tweak that. That's just me. So everybody, you know, some people like a more simplified experience. Me, I'm a feature pack, you know, type of person. I love a lot of features. There's nothing wrong with that. We all are different. You know, that's what makes us all unique. So I love One UI. Next thing, the S Pen. Now, S Pen doesn't come, you know, inside of the device. It's on the outside of the device, and you could put it in like a case and put it in a slot. But I like the fact that at least has it. Now, I wish, like the last Galaxy tablet I had, the S Pen still went inside of it. And it was sort of like the size of the pen that you get on your Note, but it was a little bit bigger and thicker. So I this one is cool. It's a lot bigger because it's a big pad. So I guess people feel a lot secure with using something a lot bigger than as opposed to something that was smaller in the other Galaxy Tab I had years ago. So it's cool, and it works just like the other S Pen. It works just like the S Pen that's in my Note 10 Plus, except there's no air gestures, there's no Bluetooth capability. Other than that, everything is the same, and you're pretty much getting all the same features. Next thing, Secure folder. Secure folder is always something that I've always liked about Samsung, even though second space would be nice, and I'll talk about that in another video with another phone. But I love secure folder because, say if you open up secure folder and you're taking a video, once you stop shooting that video, it's already going to be in your secure folder. So you don't have to put it in there. It's already going to be in there, and you have to use a PIN, a password, or your iris sensor in order to open it. So if you're taking photos while the secure folder is open, the photos are automatically stored in your secure folder. And you can store all types of apps. Any app you want, you can store it in secure folder. Say if somebody wants to use your tablet or your device and they're messing around with it, you don't want them to stumble upon sensitive information or sensitive things that you want to keep for your eyes only. That's what secure folder is for. Just put all of your stuff, all of your sensitive materials or whatever it is in your secure folder, and you don't have to worry about it. As soon as you exit secure folder, it automatically locks. So you don't have to worry about there being a delay. You don't worry about you giving it your device somebody and you be like, oh man, I forgot to close my secure folder, and they're gonna, go on my recently used apps and see what I was looking at. No. As soon as you come out of secure folder, it automatically locks it back up and secures it. So I love secure folder. Next thing, Samsung DeX. Now I haven't really used Samsung DeX like that, honestly, but I am glad it's here. I'm going to start utilizing it because I really want to check it out to see all the capabilities of it and what it can do. But I'm glad it's at least on here. So I'm looking forward to experiencing Samsung DeX. And maybe after I do that, I'll try, I'm not going to promise, maybe I'll try to do a video on Samsung DeX and how it works. But I do like the fact that it's on here. And the last thing I like about this device is the face unlock. Now, I like that it has face unlock. I'm not saying it's the fastest because I normally use the iris sensor, to be honest with you, because Samsung face unlock is not what it should be. It's just not, which is disappointing. But it's just not where it should be. But I like the fact that it's even on here. But I pretty much use the iris sensor. All right, so those are all the things that I like about the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. Now let me get into all the things that I don't like. First thing, the weight. Now, this tablet is heavy. And I'm not talking about because I have a case on it. No, it's heavy without the case. Now the case itself is pretty light. But this device is heavy. Now, I know it's not the type of thing you carry around all the time. But even if I wanted to say carry it with me to work, it's heavy. I just wish it was a little lighter. Like I handled a iPad Pro, iPad Air, yes, iPad Air years ago, and it was a nice size tablet, but I was amazed at how light it was. And it still had excellent build quality. So I'm hoping at some point Samsung can make still a very good quality tablet, build quality, all that, but make it a lot lighter. Because you can get arm fatigue or hand fatigue holding this device. So, it has some good weight to it. So I just wish it was a little lighter. That's not the biggest deal in the world, honestly, because I don't carry it around like that. But, in handling it, it's just really heavy. Next thing, no fingerprint sensor. Now, I really wish it had a fingerprint sensor either built directly in the display or on the side. It would have been cool, but it don't have it. But that's something I don't like. Next thing, the touchscreen responsiveness. Now, I think I'm going to have to pick this up to show you what I mean. It's like basically when I'm using it, it's like everything has a slight delay when I push it. Let me see if I can show you. Let me turn the brightness down. I don't want to blind you guys. All right. And I got to pull it back a little bit. So look, see if you can notice when I open up an app. Now first, I want to clear everything out. Okay, now I want to see if y'all can see it's like a delay. Well, not this one. Let me see. Okay, that one came up. Okay, didn't really do it on that one. It's hard to explain. It doesn't do it all the time. See, you see how it stuttered? You see how it stuttered to go back to the home page? Now for some reason eBay's taking forever to load up. So that was really. Do y'all see the stutter when it goes back to the home page? It's like a stutter. So the touch responsiveness on this device is really not that good, honestly. And I think what it is is that it hasn't been updated to Android 10, and it doesn't have the One UI 2.1. I think when it gets the Android 10 plus the One UI 2.1, I think it'll run a lot faster and a lot smoother. Now, when I'm using the S Pen, it's definitely very, very responsive. Like when I touch the screen, it automatically goes in and out of everything. But for some reason, when I'm using my finger, everything is like a slight delay, and it's annoying. It feels like lag. Now, I don't know if it actually is lag, but I know it's definitely a delay, and I don't like it. Next thing. Now, I know y'all going to be tripping when I say this, but it's not a big deal. No always on display. Now, y'all probably saying no tablet in the world probably has an always on display. And that's cool. It probably doesn't. But it would be so cool if this thing did, especially if you're just sitting it up on your table and say you was watching something, but you had to turn it off. But you could just sit there and the screen lights up and you can see the time, the battery percentage, still see your notifications. I think that would really be cool if it had an always on display. But it's not a big deal. It ain't no situation where I want to get rid of the device because it don't have an always on display. Probably no tablet has an always on display, but I wish it had one. Next thing, only 4 gigs of RAM. Now, I know y'all probably saying, because some people say 8 gigs, 12 gigs is overkill and all this, but I don't know about y'all, but I'll take 12 gigs any day because having so many apps open in the background and then you go right back to them after days and they still right there and pick up where you left off. I love that. So I just wish it had 6 gigs of RAM. Now, it doesn't have to have 12, but 6 gigs of RAM would have been cool. Okay? Because the more things you can hold in the background, the better. I love it. Not the biggest deal in the world, but I just wish it, it's something I don't like. Next thing, and I think I just mentioned it, stuck on Android 9 Pie. Now, Samsung is still notorious for slow updates, even though they've gotten a little bit better with the phones, because last year, before the year ended out, I got Android 10. And normally Samsung will make you wait till the year after, like February or March. But I ended up getting that update the same year that it came out, which was cool. So they are getting a little bit better. And I think a lot of it's because they have so many features and nuances to their UI, and then have to try to lay that over top of Android. I guess it's just very, very time consuming for them to put that together and then send it out to everybody. So, I still don't like the fact that it's still on Android 9 though. I mean, this came out in 2018 and it's still stuck on Android 9, so I don't like that. And the very last thing I don't like about this device is no video enhancer. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't, when you play movies or watch video content or whatever, it doesn't look good, but there's something about video enhancer on these devices that make the picture even better. And this doesn't have HDR10 plus on it, so the video enhancer would have been cool to have it. Not the biggest deal in the world either, but I just wish it had it. Alright, so basically that's my review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. I didn't really want to get into all the things that it do because it's pretty much similar to One UI on my Note 10 Plus, except the Note 10 Plus has a lot more features because it's a phone as opposed to a tablet. But it's really not that much of a difference overall. So I didn't want to waste your time getting into each and every, thing it does and things that it don't do, because this, video will end up being almost an hour, which I don't want it to be. So, is this tablet worth picking up? It depends. It depends on how much money you want to spend. And it also depends on what you want in the tablet and what you want it to do. With this is good for me. 4 speakers, sound great. Headphone jack, love that. Iris sensor, love that. Great bright display, love that. Build quality, love that. Nice big S Pen, love that. And also, it gets super bright. The display is beautiful, and the battery life is phenomenal. 7,300 milliamp battery. So the device overall is definitely worth picking up. You can get it for less than $400. Brand new. Brand new. Less than $400. So is it worth it? Absolutely, it's worth it. And on a scale of 1 to 5, like my 5-star rating, I have to give it a 3.5. And the only reason why I'm not giving it a 4 is because it's still stuck on Android 9. Now I hear they're gonna supposed to be releasing it in July, which I still think is ridiculous, but maybe after that and I get it and I do another video about how Android 10 works, and maybe if it's a lot faster and smoother, then I could give y'all an update and let y'all know. Now I didn't forget, but something I didn't mention, I didn't talk about, was the cameras. Now, I'm sorry, I didn't take pictures with this device because I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just not. Now, there's other videos you could probably watch on this tablet where you can get photos from people that take photos, but most people are not taking photos with no tablet. It's just not. The thing is awkward and it's heavy, and you trying to lift up, trying to take somebody's picture. It's just ridiculous. So, I don't know how good the cameras are. I'm sure they probably average or at least decent, but I'm not going to be taking videos and pictures with this tablet, so I just didn't even bother to do that. Okay? Alright, so hope that don't upset nobody, but I just, most people are going to use their phone or they're going to use a regular camera to take photos. That's just the way I see it. At least that's what I'm going to do, so I just didn't see the purpose. Alright, so thank you very much for taking the time to view this content. Like I said, I'm giving it 3.5 stars because no Android 10. So, and I think it really needs it because it's not as fast and fluid as it should be. It's just not, and I wish it was. So maybe when it gets to One UI 2.1 to Android 10, it'll run a lot faster and a lot smoother. So thank you once again, all my subscribers, for supporting me. I do appreciate it. And all the ones that just subscribed, I do appreciate your support as well. And I will check you guys out in the next one. And I hope you guys are staying safe. God bless. Peace.